Hey, what's up? This is Mahendra Raj. Welcome to another Coaching Mini Insight Live. And I'm back here on the island of Koh Tao, my, second or third home. This is in Thailand. Beautiful, beautiful day. Look at that. I think that's probably a great sunset in the making. But we've got another probably 45 minutes to go before the sun sets. But I wanted to shoot this mini insight for you, and as you can see in the description, I said if you're suffering through any experiences or with any disempowering negative emotions, then you gotta listen in. This is super important, and this comes up. This came up on several of my coaching calls yesterday with all the clients, and it keeps coming up. It's a repetitive theme because this is the fundamental reason, really the root reason of why we feel like shit, when we go through stuff, right? So really what the topic is meaning, right? What meaning are you giving things? What meaning are you giving the experiences you go through, especially those difficult or challenging or undesirable experiences, experiences where you caught off guard, experiences where you don't get the outcome you thought, or your expectations weren't met, and as a result of that you start to feel disappointed, you start to feel frustrated, you start to feel angry, you start to feel sad or depressed or whatever the heck you've been feeling. And look, I go through this too. It's the only difference is probably it's just because I've dedicated 10 years of my life to coaching, and I do this day in and day out. I help clients break through this stuff, right? These negative emotions and experiences, and help them break through and achieve more, do more, and become more. I have the privilege of having these reminders, right? So I'm fortunate that way. But if you're not doing the job I do and constantly coaching people with these strategies and these shifts of mindset, then you've got to make yourself remember and remind yourself and use what I call the power of meaning, right? And Tony Robbins talks about this too a lot, right? The power of meaning. The meaning you give things will determine how you feel about it. And I'll give you a story. I don't know if you've heard this one before, but this is a really, really important metaphor and really easy to understand too. So there was two kids, right? There was two boys, twins actually. And, they were born into a family, to a mom and dad that were not well-to-do at all. In fact, they were pretty much broke, and the father had to resort to all sorts of interesting and creative ways to make money just to feed his family. And one day, one of his friends came across an opportunity and pitched it to this father, right? And let's just call the father Jack, right? So the father of these twin boys is Jack. So Jack's friend said, "Hey man, there's this opportunity, but unfortunately, the opportunity was to rob a few stores." And so Jack, he's actually a good guy, right? So this father Jack is a good guy, and he said, "You know what? If I can just do a few deals and rob a few shops with a certain amount, right? Of a certain amount and above, I'm good, right? I just have to rob 5 shops." So he goes on, they go and they rob the first shop and they're good. They escape. They rob the second shop, they're good. They rob the third shop. Unfortunately, what happens is, out of circumstance and while trying to escape, the gun they were carrying accidentally goes off, and Jack, the father, shoots the store owner, and he dies. So this father, Jack, goes to court and basically gets thrown in jail, and he's sentenced to jail for 30 years or something. And so the mother raises these boys, the twins, and so the twins don't get to see their father, right? Ever. And as they grow up, as they grow to be older boys, they learn about the story, and they learn that their dad's basically a criminal and he's in jail. So fast forward 25 years later, a reporter finds out or digs up the story. There was some publicity around this, and so the reporter digs up this story, and he decides to track down these two boys. Well, now they're men, right? They're almost 30 years old. and he finds out that one of them is a lawyer, right? One of them is going to be a quite successful lawyer, and the other one is actually caught up with illegal activities, and he's going around robbing stores too, right? He's basically a criminal. So he tracks the lawyer son down first, and he asks him a bunch of questions. He interviews him, and one of the questions he asks this lawyer, is, so why do you think you ended up this way? Why did you become a lawyer? How did you end up being a lawyer? What was your drive to become a lawyer? And so this young man looks at him and says, well, with a dad like that, what other choice did I have but to become a lawyer and do good and to prevent other people from being victims of being shot and stuff like that by bad people. So with a dad like that, I had to become a lawyer to protect other people, to help do good in the world. And so this reporter then goes, okay, yeah, great. And then he walks away and he goes and interviews the other son, which is the criminal, right? He managed to track him down, and this young man is bitter and angry, and he's a thief, and he's doing all sorts of bad things and drugs and stuff like that. And so the reporter asked him a bunch of questions about he asked him the same question also, right? So how did you end up this way? Like, why did you become this criminal? Why are you robbing stores and why are you doing drugs? And so this young man says to him, well, with a dad like that, what choice should I have? He set such a bad example for me. I didn't have a choice. I grew up without a dad. And so that story shows you the power of meaning. Same fucking experience, right? Both the boys grew up without a dad. Both of the boys had the same situation, right? And yet, because of the meaning they gave to their dad being in prison and not being there for them and doing those things to end up in prison and not be in their lives, because of the meaning, they therefore took different actions, they made different decisions, took different actions, and went down completely different paths and became completely different people. So it's not the experience that you're going through that is the problem. The problem, if you're not where you are, if you're not experiencing the emotions and the quality of life you want to experience, and if you're, more importantly, if you're experiencing shitty emotions, crappy emotions, and you feel depressed, sad, angry, frustrated, whatever, bitter most of the time, it's not the shit that's going on. It's not your boss. It's not the whatever fucking rain because it rained. It's not your job, your crappy job. It's not the lack of money. It's not all that. It's just the meaning you're giving things. So sort out your meanings, right? Like really stop and ask yourself, what meaning am I giving this? And then choose a better meaning. All right? Super, super important. Power of meaning. Take this in. Share this video, please, with whoever you think needs to hear it, or on your newsfeed, whatever. And comment, share distinctions with me, or send me a PM to share whatever you need to share with me. All right. I appreciate you for following me forward and watching these mini insights. I do my best to provide value to you, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next coaching mini insight. This is my garage. Go create and live the life of your dreams.